Amazon is a great tropical rainforest where every meter of land and every stream of water is full of danger. In the maze of tree roots and tangled rivers, predators are silently lurking. In a world where life and death are only a moment apart, who will rise to the throne? Amazon. The terrifying clash between Jaguar and Caiman. Amazon is the green lung of the earth, where dense forests and rivers intertwine like an endless maze. Under the damp canopy and murky water, countless predators lurk, waiting for the opportunity to strike a fatal blow. The wild beauty here always goes hand in hand with danger, turning Amazon into the most fierce arena of life and death on the planet. The surface of the Amazon water ripples quietly. The golden sunlight penetrates through the dense canopy. Suddenly, heavy but gentle footsteps echo from the jungle. From the darkness, bright yellow eyes flash like two sparks of fire. The jaguar appeared, quietly advancing to the riverbank, each stride filled with power. Without needing to roar, its mere presence was enough to make the entire forest stop, signaling that a supreme predator had entered the fray. The jaguar, the apex predator of the Amazon. With a muscular body, rippling muscles, and the strongest jaws of any big cat, it can penetrate the skull of its prey with just one bite. Unlike lions or leopards, jaguars live alone and prefer ambushes, quietly approaching and then delivering the finishing blow in the blink of an eye. In particular, it is a rare cat that dares to dive into the water to hunt. Even rulers like the Caiman are not out of its death list. The surface of the Amazon suddenly stirred up waves. From the murky water, a pair of cold yellow eyes gradually emerged. The Caiman quietly emerged from the darkness, carrying the aura of a patient and deadly predator. In the dense forest, the jaguar crouched low, each step as light as gliding on the ground. Its bright yellow eyes locked on its prey that was lying in the river. It approached every meter. Its breath was compressed, its muscles tensed as if ready to burst. And then the hunt broke out. The crocodile struggled desperately, but then its heavy body gradually sank into the red water. The jaguar quietly dragged its opponent's body to the shore, its cold eyes shining with dominance. In the fierce Amazon, the one who dares to challenge death can only be the strongest, and today, the throne belongs to the jaguar. After fierce battles, the female jaguar seeks the silence of the deep forest. It chooses hidden rock crevices or bushes to prepare for the journey to continue its life. After nearly 100 days of pregnancy, the female jaguar gives birth to 1 to 4 cubs, small and blind at birth. During the first weeks, it barely leaves the den, both nurturing and protecting its young from predators. As it grows older, the cub begins to learn how to stalk and ambush under the strict guidance of its mother. The deep roar of the adult leopard blends with the young cry that echoes through the forest, like a song of survival passed from generation to generation. In the fierce Amazon, where the weak are always eliminated, it is this silent continuity that helps the jaguar maintain its position as the ultimate predator, both the god of death and the symbol of survival. The sun filters through the dense foliage, scattering streaks of golden light onto the deep green forest floor. A gentle wind causes the giant treetops to shake slightly, revealing the vast sky above. In the midst of that peaceful moment, the space is suddenly shaken by deep howls echoing throughout the Amazon. A sound pierces the silence, signaling the arrival of another force in the rainforest, the red howler monkeys, the rulers of the highlands. Hidden in the dense undergrowth, they let out a long, resonant call that can be heard for kilometers. It is not only the sound of South America's typical primate, but also a powerful declaration in the wild. The shiny red-brown fur covers the entire body. The long, flexible tail is considered a fifth arm, allowing them to cling tightly to tree branches when moving in the maze of dense forests. Red howler monkeys are not predators. They are leaf eaters, with large stomachs containing many microorganisms that help digest cellulose, a rare biological advantage, allowing them to live off young leaves, ripe fruits, and flowers from high above. The monkey troop often spends hours resting after each meal, slowly digesting the huge amount of food. The most prominent feature is the howl. With a developed hollow throat, their sound can be heard up to 5 kilometers away, both as a way to protect the territory and as a means of uniting the group. Just one howl can shake the entire forest, signaling the presence of the tree canopy guardians. The breeding season usually falls during the rainy season. The dominant male will mate with several females in the troop, and after about 6 months of pregnancy, the female monkey gives birth to a single baby. The baby is carried on the mother's belly for the first months of its life, then gradually moves to cling to her back until adulthood. However, even in the tree canopy, they are not really safe. The harpy eagle, the most powerful bird of prey in South America, is the most fearsome natural enemy. In addition, jaguars and anacondas also lurk in the low leaves. The life of the red howler monkey is therefore always a series of vigilance, where the howls echo not only to assert territory, but also to warn of dangers lurking on all sides. When the afternoon light tilts over the Amazon forest, the river surface becomes as quiet as a dark mirror. But under the murky water, not all is peaceful. Hidden deep below, a giant predator is preparing for a single and fatal attack. In the murky water, the more than 6-meter-long body of the green anaconda snake quietly slithers like a living shadow. It feels every ripple, every small vibration from the riverbank. Anaconda snakes are known as the giant ghosts of the reptile world, the heaviest and longest snakes on the planet. They can reach more than 8 meters long, weigh over 200 kilograms, with huge muscular bodies covered in olive green scales dotted with round black spots, helping them blend perfectly with the dark water. Eyes and nostrils located on the top of their heads allow them to observe and breathe, while the rest of their bodies are hidden under the water, making them almost invisible predators. Anaconda snakes' hunting instincts rely on absolute silence and overwhelming strength. They often stalk their prey at the edges of rivers, mudflats, or creeks, motionless for hours, like a rotten log. When the target, from large fish, waterfowl, capybara, small deer, to Caiman crocodiles approaches, the python will strike quickly, wrapping its muscles tightly with each beat, stopping the prey's breathing until it is immobile. Unlike venomous snakes, an anaconda kills with muscle power and then swallows its prey whole, sometimes taking hours to complete. The anaconda can swallow prey weighing half its body weight and then not need to eat for weeks, even months. But the constrictor does not only hunt small animals. When the opponent is another killer, the confrontation will take the shape of a nightmare. In the evening, the rain has just stopped. Steam rises from the surface of the lagoon. A caiman is lying in ambush near the shore. The water behind it ripples slightly. The giant anaconda is slithering forward, slowly as the darkness falls. In the blink of an eye, the battle breaks out by the river. Finally, the python's strength and grip won out, and it held on until the caiman was motionless, then disappeared under the deep water with its prize. As the night gradually fell, the surface of the Amazon returned to its original calm, with only faint red ripples remaining under the moonlight. The giant ghost had disappeared into the depths, taking its spoils with it. But that was not the end, but only part of the endless cycle of survival in the rainforest. Under the sunlight slanting through the forest canopy, the Amazon River gradually calmed down after the fierce hunts. The murky water suddenly stirred, small ripples spreading out like a warning sign. From the riverbed, slender figures glided gracefully, reflecting the shimmering light. Another force of the Amazon was emerging, a pack of giant otters, the proud warriors of the river. Giant otters, also known as river wolves, are the longest otter species in the world, reaching up to 1.8 meters. They live in close-knit clans, usually from 5 to 15 individuals, led by a pair of leaders. Their long, muscular bodies and powerful, flat tails make them excellent swimmers. Their thick, silky, waterproof fur keeps them warm. But their real weapons are not their size, but their powerful jaws with sharp teeth and, most importantly, their complex communication and coordinated hunting. They are an elite army of the water. The clan's territory is a rich horseshoe lake, a rich supply of fish and safe banks for burrowing and raising young. The proud, scarred alpha male is an experienced leader. He has led the clan through many rainy seasons, protecting them from predators like jaguars and repelling rival otter clans. For them, this is more than just a hunting ground. This is home. But the peace does not last forever. The dry season is approaching. Food sources in other areas are starting to dry up, forcing large predators to migrate, looking for new promised lands. And today, a swamp tyrant has come to the Otter Kingdom. Its presence is not just a threat, it is a declaration of war. It has come here not only to hunt fish, it has come to usurp this fertile territory. And then the real battle broke out. The battle is over. The swamp tyrant has been expelled. The Otter Pack has successfully defended its kingdom. This victory is a powerful testament to another law of the Amazon. Here, strength does not come only from the muscles of individuals, but also from the intelligence, strategy, and strength of the whole group. After the breathtaking confrontation with the Caiman, the Amazon River gradually calmed down. In a dry hole on the shore, the female otter has prepared for the journey to continue her life. She digs complex tunnels, lining them with dry grass and rotten leaves to make a nest. After nearly 2 months of pregnancy, the tiny, blind, weak cubs are born, completely dependent on the mother and the pack for protection. Not only the mother, but the entire pack of otters contributes to raising them. They take turns hunting fish to bring back, guarding against enemies, and teaching the cubs their first lessons: how to dive, how to stalk prey, how to use hissing to communicate and warn. The immature chirping mixed with the loud sounds of the adults echo in the cave like a song of survival passed from generation to generation. It is the solidarity in raising and protecting the cubs that helps the giant otter continue to maintain its position. One of the species that dares to challenge even the most notorious killers in the Amazon. In the Amazon kingdom, no throne is eternal. Only moments of domination are exchanged with blood and recklessness. Because here, the greatest victory is not power, but simply the opportunity to continue fighting tomorrow. Which species do you think is worthy of becoming the killer of the Amazon jungle? Leave your comments below the video. And don't forget to ring the bell and subscribe to not miss the next wildlife survival series. Savanna is a land where death can strike in an instant. Under the blazing sun, every step on the grassland is fraught with danger. Here, there is no room for weakness. Only the strongest have the right to survive. Who will be called by the vortex of life and death today? The fierce savanna, the horrifying chase between the warthog and the lion. The red sun gradually rises, covering the endless grassland with a burning yellow light. The dry wind sweeps through, stirring up layers of fine dust floating in the air. From afar, the sparse treetops cast long shadows, and in the vast space, there is only the sound of the wind and the sound of insects echoing. That silence does not bring peace, but is like a full trap, waiting for the moment to explode. In this harsh place, just a small movement, the savanna will immediately turn into a battlefield of life and death. And then, from the short grass, a rough figure suddenly appeared. It was a person who seemed clumsy, but had a surprisingly tenacious survival instinct. With a large flat head and two curved tusks protruding from its mouth, the warthog had a rough and fierce appearance. The thick, rough skin, along with the bumps protruding around its eyes and nose, made it look like a warrior wearing a rough mask. Four short but strong legs, hard nails, help it accelerate up to nearly 55 kilometers per hour, enough to escape from many predators. During dry days, warthog patiently digs tree roots and grass roots to find food. When grazing, it often kneels down, its head close to the ground, an awkward posture, but a typical mark of the species. At first glance, warthog looks stupid and sullen, but deep inside is a high level of vigilance. The ears stand upright, constantly rotating to the slightest sound, like a living radar. To survive in the savanna, warthogs also take advantage of abandoned honey badgers or porcupine. For shelter. When danger is near, they will rush straight into them, revealing only their sharp fangs as a warning to any predators who dare to approach. What seems to be just clumsiness is actually the perfect cover, helping warthogs become one of the most resilient survivors in this harsh grassland. But the savanna has never been a safe land. While the warthogs are still absorbed in munching grass, each gust of wind gently stirs the bushes in the distance. Hidden there, a pair of golden eyes shine under the sunlight, watching every smallest movement of the prey. The graceful figure slides close to the ground. Each step is as light as a breath, almost making no sound. The muscles bulged under the shiny skin. The tail wagged gently in a patient rhythm, a familiar sign before a storm of prey broke out. The surrounding space suddenly became heavy, as if the savanna was also holding its breath, waiting. The chase had begun. Just a few moments later, the sharp teeth like knives locked onto the warthog's throat, ending the chase in a bloody finale. The savanna fell silent, only the sound of the wind howling through the grassland. Another life had fallen, a cruel testament to the cycle of life and death in this harsh land. Before the grass could settle down after the fierce chase, the savanna returned to its false silence. In the distance, against the fiery sky, a giant figure gradually appeared in the middle of the vast grassland. Walking leisurely but majestically, the creature seemed to carry a part of the sky on its towering shoulders. That is the silent giant of the savanna, the giraffe. The giraffe is the tallest mammal on the planet. With an average height of 5 to 6 meters, males can weigh up to 1,200 kilograms. The long neck accounts for almost half of the body's height, supported by just 7 cervical vertebrae, like humans, but each vertebra is more than 25 centimeters long. The distinctive golden brown fur, covered with unique polygonal patterns, is both camouflage and helps to distinguish each individual. The long, slender legs are extremely strong and can take down an adult lion with just one kick. Despite their tall appearance, giraffes live entirely on plants. They eat leaves and young shoots, and especially love acacia leaves, a type of tree with sharp thorns that few species dare to touch. The giraffe's tongue is purple-black, up to 45 centimeters long, flexible and covered with a thick layer of tissue that helps prevent being pricked by thorns when rolling the leaves. During mating season, males often participate in necking matches, using their long necks and short horns on their heads to fight each other for mating rights. The winner will have access to the female. The gestation period lasts about 15 months, after which the female giraffe gives birth to a single calf, nearly 2 meters tall at birth. Within half an hour, the calf can stand up and run with the herd to escape the predator. The natural enemy of the giraffe is the lion, which targets the calves or weak individuals. Leopards, hyenas, and wild dogs also occasionally attack the calves. However, the adult giraffe has almost no real opponents, as the powerful kick from its hind legs can crush the skull or break the bones of any predator. The giraffe is the silent giant of the savanna, both a symbol of elegance and a testament to the unique evolutionary power of nature. The sun gradually sets over the vast grasslands, dyeing the savanna in a brilliant red. Like blood. In the vast space, each heavy step echoes, echoing on the dry ground. Under the red sunset, the massive body of the rhino appears like a living chariot. With its thick, rough, gray skin like an ancient armor, it exudes an invulnerable aura. On its broad nose, two keratin horns rise powerfully. The front one can be more than a meter long, a weapon that is both defensive and offensive, making many species wary. Its small ears constantly rotate to each sound, making up for its dull eyes. Each of its steps is heavy but sure, as if pounding each beat on the dry ground. When it feels threatened, this seemingly slow giant can charge at a speed of nearly 50 kilometers per hour, strong enough to knock away anyone who dares to challenge it. Despite its ferocious appearance, rhinos are gentle herbivores. They spend most of their time grazing on grass, bushes, and soaking in mud to cool their bodies. However, that peace does not last long. During the breeding season, when the survival instinct rises stronger than ever, the savanna is shaken by the uncompromising giants. Two male rhinos suddenly meet each other on the same territory. Fiery eyes, each deep roar echoes in the vast space, signaling an inevitable battle. Not for food, but for dominance and the opportunity to pass on bloodline. At that moment, the savanna turns into an arena of two armored chariots, ready to charge into each other in a bloody confrontation. Then, boom, the battle breaks out. After dozens of minutes of fighting, the sound of horns colliding gradually becomes less frequent. Both giants pant, their breaths heavy in the thick red dust. Finally, one gradually falters, its trembling legs no longer strong enough to maintain balance. In a moment of silence, it quietly turns around, each heavy step retreating into the distance, leaving the fierce arena behind. The one who remained stood tall in the red sunset, his body exhausted, but his eyes still shining with pride. There was no death, but defeat meant the loss of territory, the loss of access to children, and the loss of the chance to pass on his bloodline. In the savannah, sometimes survival is not determined by strength alone, but by the will to stand firm after relentless battles. As the grass gradually settled, the savannah returned to its normal rhythm. The victor, though wounded, was rewarded not only with territory, but also with a chance to pass on his bloodline. In the world of rhinos, these fierce battles always open a new cycle of life. The female approaches, still alert but not leaving. After fierce clashes, the strongest will win the right to mate. The gestation period lasts up to 16 months, and when giving birth, the female rhino only gives birth to a single calf, weighing about 40 to 60 kilograms. And the will to survive. The sun gradually sets behind the horizon, casting a red light on the rough, wounded body. In the fierce savanna, the rhino still stands firm, a symbol of strength and pride. The grass was silent. The sky was mottled with orange-red, and the vast space seemed to be waiting for a new force to step out. From afar, the ground shook slightly with each resounding stomp of feet. A giant black shadow gradually appeared in the middle of the vast grassland, towering and majestic like a silent ruler. That was the appearance of the African elephant, the true giant of the Black Continent. In the orange-red sunset, the majestic body of the African elephant appeared, up to 4 meters tall and weighing more than 6 tons, the largest mammal on land. The giant ears, like fans, not only help to dispel the harsh heat, but also serve as a communication tool with powerful flaps. The long, flexible trunk contains more than 40,000 muscles and can uproot a tree, but is also skillful enough to pick up a small leaf. Elephants are giant herbivores, consuming up to 200 kilograms of food and drinking more than 100 liters of water every day. They roam the savanna, carving trails through the jungle, digging ponds in the dry season, unintentionally becoming the architects of the ecosystem, nurturing countless other species. Elephant society is led by the oldest female, a female leader, who keeps the memory of water sources and migration routes. The young are always protected by the herd, walking between the giant bodies, safe from predators. But elephants are not always gentle. When angry, a shock from a meter-long tusk can kill a lion in the blink of an eye. But baby elephants are always the targets that predators crave. Every wobbly step of a baby elephant is potentially dangerous, and just a moment of carelessness, the shadow of death can strike at any time. And in this moment, the darkness of the grass hid the silent predators, waiting for an opening to strike a fatal blow. In the distance, the faint silhouettes of a few lionesses appeared, their golden eyes watching the elephant herd. They stalked silently, focusing only on one target, the small, clumsy cubs. The savanna air suddenly became heavy, as if death was lurking just under the sunset. Suddenly, the fight broke out. The lions were forced to flee, leaving behind the angry roars of their mother elephants. The ground shook under the fierce stomps. Dust flew everywhere, and in an instant, the hunter became the hunted. The sunset falls. The savanna grassland is immersed in a deep red color. The elephant herd continues its journey silently, leaving behind the deep footsteps that resonate like the eternal beat of nature. They are proof that in the midst of a harsh world, there still exists a lasting and everlasting power that overcomes all dangers. In the wild, life and death always go hand in hand, like two sides of destiny. Every hunt, every battle, every birth is a piece in the endless cycle of life and death. There, the weak have no place, and the strong are never completely safe. In your opinion, what is the most powerful survival weapon of the warthog? Sharp tusks, breakaway speed, or high alertness? Leave a comment below the video. And don't forget to ring the bell and subscribe so you don't miss the next wildlife survival series. A fiery dawn descends on the arid land of Botswana. The first rays of sunlight shine upon the cracked sand dunes and spindly thorn bushes, turning the landscape into a sea of blazing fire. This is a place where all creatures must live by instinct, and the slightest mistake can mean death. Can intelligence overcome deadly venom? Wild Botswana. Mongoose challenges. Venom killer. The red sun gradually rises from the Botswana horizon, pouring a sea of blazing fire on the arid land. Hot winds blow, stirring up layers of yellow dust that float in the air, making the entire savanna appear to be covered in a fiery mist. The spindly thorn bushes stretch out in the early morning sun. Their shadows cast long on the cracked ground, like giant wounds of the desert. In that silence, a slight movement among the small, agile grass marks the appearance of the most daring creature in this land. The mongoose. In the middle of the dry, sunburnt grass of Botswana, a small figure appears and disappears among the low, thorny bushes. It is the mongoose, a creature less than half a meter long, with a slender body, its back covered with gray-brown fur that blends perfectly with the color of the sand. Its short but sturdy legs help it move as fast as lightning, weaving through every corner of the harsh savanna. Its small yellow eyes are always moving constantly, like living radar beams, scanning every vibration around it. Its pointed snout helps it sniff out prey hidden deep in the sand. From scorpions, insects, bird eggs, to even deadly creatures like venomous snakes. The mongoose does not live alone. They exist in organized packs, where each member has a role: a scout, a predator, and the young are carefully protected in deep sand burrows. They communicate with dozens of different calls, from warning calls to their Instead, it bristles, hisses, and charges straight at its opponent, ready to confront it, whether it is a venomous snake or any other desert killer. The sun is at its peak, and its rays pour down on the dry, cracked ground as if it wants to burn everything. The space is dead silent. From the darkness, a black, bronze-colored body gradually slithers out, undulating softly but hauntingly. A venomous snake, a silent killer of this harsh land. Among the low thorn bushes, a lone mongoose is stalking its prey. The air was thick, as tight as a string, about to snap. The mongoose stood opposite, its back hair standing on end. It tilted its head slightly, growled, and hissed in defiance. And then the fight broke out. A hot wind blew, ending the life and death battle that lasted only a few minutes, but was enough to engrave it into the cruel jungle law of Botswana. Enemy's corpse then raised its head, its eyes blazing. It won. The mongoose pack disappeared into the ground, leaving behind silence and the heat still lingering on the sand. A new day would begin, and somewhere in the heart of Botswana, the little warriors would continue their journey of survival, challenging all predators and even death. The sun was slowly setting in the west. The deep golden light spread across the Botswana savanna like a fiery cloak. From afar, a giant black shadow slowly appeared in the middle of the sea of red grass. In the sunset, wings spread wide, standing tall, each step steady as if stepping on the sun. It was another predator, tall, majestic, and with the demeanor of a warrior. The sharp eyes swept across the ground where death had just passed. A long feather behind its head fluttered in the wind like the spear of a war god. The secretary bird, the heir to the steppe, the snake hunter with steel legs. Its appearance marked a new chapter in the endless chain of survival of this land. With a height of more than a meter and a wingspan of up to 2 meters, the secretary bird is one of the tallest birds of prey on the planet. Its slender body, long neck, small head, and face adorned with bright orange-red skin made it stand out in the vast steppe. But what made this bird special was its long and sturdy legs, a deadly weapon bestowed by nature. Each of its steps was a solemn rhythm. Each kick was a death sentence for any creature that dared to confront it. These legs can unleash a force 5 times their body weight, enough to crush the skull of a venomous snake with a single kick. Unlike other birds of prey that use claws or sharp beaks, secretary birds hunt entirely with their feet. They quietly approach their prey, which is usually snakes, mice, lizards, or large insects, and then suddenly attack with a series of lightning-fast kicks. Scientists have recorded that the interval between 2 kicks of secretary birds is only about 15 milliseconds, faster than the blink of an eye. That speed, combined with absolute precision, makes them the devil of snakes. Even cobras, with their deadly venom, have little chance of counterattacking against those lightning strikes. Each day, the secretary bird can travel more than 30 kilometers across the savanna, hunting dozens of snakes and rodents. Their bodies have thick skin on their feet, which helps to resist some of the venom, and their extremely fast reflexes make the bite of their enemies almost meaningless. In the harsh world of Botswana, where every creature is either predator or prey, the secretary bird occupies a special position as both a symbol of strength and an ecological balancer. When not hunting, the secretary bird often spreads its wings and soars high in the sky, looking for open land to rest or build a nest. They are monogamous, bonding with their partner for life. Each rainy season, when life revives, the secretary bird pair together to build a giant nest on the top of acacia trees or thorn bushes up to 2 meters wide, one of the largest nests in the world of predatory birds. The nest is lined with dry grass and feathers, strong enough to withstand strong winds and the weight of 2 adult birds. They lay 2 to 3 eggs, incubating them for about 45 to 50 days. When the eggs hatch, the young are fed fresh prey, small snakes, lizards, or mice, hunted by both parents. It takes 2 months for the young to be able to fly and 6 months to become a real hunter, taking the first steps on the path to becoming a warrior of the savannah. Over the past 3 decades, the secretary bird's population has declined by 70%, making this species now classified as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List. Yet the secretary bird is not just a creature, but also a symbol of courage and intelligence. They have been chosen as the national symbol of South Africa, symbolizing the spirit of resilience and righteous strength. As dawn breaks, in the fiery sky of Botswana, where the ground is cracked and hot winds roll through the sea of dry grass, a giant shadow glides silently across the ground. Its wingspan was nearly 2 meters. Its sharp golden eyes scanned every inch of the ground like blades. That was the African serpent eagle, the ruler of the sky and the terror of all snakes on the steppe. Unlike other birds of prey, the snake eagle is a master of concentration and speed. With a body length of more than 60 centimeters, a large head, a short neck and legs covered with hard scales, it was born to hunt snakes. The thick scales on its legs are a natural armor that helps it resist fatal bites from venomous snakes. Every time it spreads its wings, its flight is both majestic and quiet, as if the whole sky holds its breath watching every movement. From above, the snake eagle's eyes can detect a small snake 30 centimeters long, more than 1 kilometer away. When the prey appears, It swoops down like a bolt of lightning, reaching speeds of up to 160 kilometers per hour. The bright yellow eyes are like two flames sweeping across the ground, capturing every smallest movement. A thin streak of light flashes through the grass, a venomous snake slithering through the dry, cracked ground. The eagle tilted its wings, gradually lowering its altitude. Below, the snake continued to crawl, carefree, unaware that death was right above its head. Suddenly, the eagle swooped down. The venomous snake collapsed, its body limp in the sunset like a black silk strip. The eagle stood upright, its wings spread wide, catching the hot wind rising from the ground. It bent down, bit the snake's body, then spread its wings and soared high. Dust flew everywhere, dry grass rustled, and in that moment, only its shadow remained, blending into the red sky. In Botswana, life does not stop. It only transfers from one person to another. And when the snake eagle spread its wings in the sunset, all of nature seemed to be silent in awe of the power of the sky. In the scorching midday sun on the dry savanna of Botswana, when most creatures had to seek shelter, a low, solid black shadow still walked leisurely in the scorching heat. Not shy, not hurried, each step of it seems to challenge nature. Its body is short, its muscles are firm, its back is covered with gray-white fur contrasting with the jet-black fur underneath, looking like it is wearing a suit of armor. That is the honey badger, the animal known as the most reckless on the planet, a warrior who knows no fear. The honey badger is not large, only about 70 centimeters long, and weighs more than 10 kilograms, but it has a body trained by nature for fierce battles. Its skin is up to half a centimeter thick, making it almost immune to fangs and claws. If caught, it can turn around in its own skin to counterattack, making the predator suddenly become a victim. Its long, sharp, curved claws are not only used to dig holes, but also a weapon that can tear apart snake flesh or beehives in a few strokes. Unlike many other creatures, the honey badger chooses to confront instead of flee. When encountering a venomous snake, it does not retreat. With lightning reflexes, it avoids the first bite, then rushes straight to bite the enemy's neck. Even when poisoned, the honey badger's body still has extraordinary endurance. It faints for a few hours, then wakes up and eats the snake it just defeated. Its menu includes not only snakes, but also lizards, mice, small birds, and eggs, even honeycombs, full of honey. Stung by hundreds of bees, it still stubbornly endures to lick the sweet drops of honey, a living symbol of its will to not give up in the face of pain. In nature, few species can compare with its intelligence and bravery. Even lions or leopards must be wary, because honey badgers have a habit of attacking directly at the weak points of their opponents, the nose, mouth, or even the genitals, causing even the strongest to run away. Although not the dominant species in the food chain, the honey badger is a symbol of bravery and perseverance. It contributes to maintaining ecological balance by controlling the number of venomous snakes, gnawing and spreading pollen when feeding on honey. In an ecosystem where life and death intertwine at every moment, the honey badger is proof that strength lies not only in size or venom, but in the will to not fear. Sunset falls on the Botswana savanna, dyeing the sky and the dry land red. The wind blows through the sea of golden grass, sweeping away all traces of the daytime battle for survival. In that quiet moment, nature returns to its inherent balance. In a place where life and death always go hand in hand, only one thing never changes. The cycle of nature continues, endless and eternal. What do you think helps creatures survive in Botswana? Strength, speed, or intelligence? Leave a comment below the video. And don't forget to ring the bell and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next wildlife survival series.